All right, welcome back. Let me quickly introduce my partners on the show to you. I have the pleasure of having with me guys who love football on the domestic scene, and that will form a large part of what we're going to be doing on the show tonight. Sitting right next to me, Ajuwa Julian. Let me welcome you to the show.
Thank you very much, Yemi. It's a pleasure being here, and also good evening to Toby Samo.
All right, you just let the cat out of the bag. Toby Adepoju, also with us, able to drag him down on short notice. But it's always a pleasure to have you around.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be on the set tonight. Great games coming up this weekend in the APFL. Looking very tough. Battle for survival and also battle of who will emerge as champions. And also in Europe, a couple of great games, coming up this weekend. Fallout of the Champions League, taking it to the domestic league is going to look very, very exciting. And just like Julian said, it's nice to be on the set with him.
Okay, okay. I'm trying to smile. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we're starting off tonight with something that's not really heartwarming. It's talking about the 2015 AfroBaskets Championships for the women. Nigeria has lost to Cameroon by 71 points to 70, despite taking an early lead in the game. It does leave a sore taste in your mouth because the girls led in the first quarter, 23 points to 15. Well, in the second quarter, it was 13 points to 21. In the third quarter as well, our girls were also in the lead, 15 points to 13. But fourth quarter, it's where we lost everything. Let me start with Julian. How do you react to this? Did this come to you as a surprise?
I think it's a very painful loss. You just said it the way it is. We're leading right from the first quarter, and one would have expected us to consolidate,
keep the momentum,
keep the momentum going, and see if we can see off the Cameroonians because we know they are the host, and we know how difficult it is playing against the host
at any stage.
Competition, at any stage, be it football, be it basketball, be it any other sport. And the fans definitely cheer the Cameroonians to victory. Yes, it was a very close score, 71 to 70, but I think there's still room for improvement. But the only sad point is the fact that the Tigers, who won the AfroBasket in Rades, Tunisia some weeks back, have qualified automatically for the 2016 Olympics. But same cannot be said of the Tigers because just one slot is there for the winner to qualify for the 2016
Olympics. There's no backdoor route. That's the painful part.
I mean, it's so painful.
Yeah, I think that's the painful part. Missing out on the Olympics from the Olympics is something very painful. Something that will be very difficult for us to really accept. And these guys really did well. It started with the tournament where I think the loss of first game bounced back in the top of the group, looked very, very solid. They were favourites.
Five games in a row.
Five games in a row. They looked very, very solid, looked very compact, looked very strong. And everyone thought they could just try and get past Cameroon. Yes, just like Julian said, we knew it was going to be difficult, especially playing against the whole side who have their fans behind them and have everything working for them in terms of the atmosphere. But you want to give it to them. Also on the other side, they fought very hard. Losing to that slim, margin. Just a point. It's something that will really, give these guys.
Is the nature of the loss that is painful?
Yeah.
If we came here and we're talking about a 20-point lead,
21 points,
we'll
gap,
just criticize the girls and forget about it. But this one, the way of manner, we lost.
Close. I think most of them, we find it very difficult to sleep tonight because they will keep asking themselves where they got it wrong. They won the first set and they could not really try to be strong on that one and they just slip off. Very, very painful. Yeah. But just like you said, we're missing out from the biggest event. From the big stages.
Biggest multi-sport event in the world. Everyone wants to be at the Olympics. Yeah, I know there's always this argument about whether or not the Olympics is bigger than the FIFA World Cup. We don't have time to delve into that.
It's not bigger.
But it's the biggest multi-sport event on the planet, and every sport would like to be there.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, it's not all over at the 2015 AfroBasket Championships. You can't be excused, you can't be forgiven now that Nigeria has lost the semi-final. But it's our duty to also let you know that, of course, Angola and Senegal will play the other semi-final. Of course, whoever loses, it's really sad to be playing the losers' final, but it is what it is, and that's where we find ourselves tonight. All right? So we have to move on from there, and usually when we lose like this, people start trading blames, but we're not going to do that on the show because the girls have done well so far.
I mean, proud to this game, they were the high-scoring side in the competition. They scored plenty of points.
You look at the comparative standings, they were on number 2.
So I think in summary, it was not a bad tournament for
Yes.
them, but it's something they can,
Learn
want
from.
to learn from and want to improve in subsequent events. I think it's a very good one from their coach Scott, and they really did well for the girls.
Yeah, okay, all right. So let's move away from basketball and talk about football. The Under-17 FIFA World Cup will start in a few days, in a few weeks. It's going to start. So that's it on your screen, talking about the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. Coach Emmanuel Amunike names Golden Eaglet's provisional squad for the tournament, and it's expected at this stage. They're already in Argentina. The tournament will take place in South America, Chile to be precise, and trying to acclimatize, trying to put finishing touches to preparations. But let me quickly come to you, Julian. What's your view about the Golden Eaglets so far heading to a major tournament? Do you think there's pressure on them being the defending champions, or what really matters to you is, like some people have said, growth in the real sense, not really winning?
I think both works hand in hand.
Okay.
As much as
typical Nigerian.
As much as you want that transitional growth, you also want to win, because
we all love victories.
Everyone loves victory. The NFF will not accept a poor showing at the World Cup, being the fact that we're also defending champions. And I like the fact that we played an invitational tournament prior to this, particular tournament. And one of the opponents who played are going to be in our group. That's the Croatians, which we lost by 3-2. So we must have known what to expect when we play in a competitive fixture against the Croatians. The Chileans, the host team, are definitely going to be there. And just like you just saw, the Italians lost to a team that was hosting a tournament. We hope the
Golden Eaglet
doesn't repeat itself. But all in all, I think one major area I have my doubts is the fact that we've heavily relied on two players, the captain Kelechi Nwakali and Victor Osimhen. At the qualifying tournament prior to this tournament, we finished in the fourth position, and all the goals we scored came from the goals of those two guys. So the coach by now should have discovered other players to be able to assist these two guys, because all the goal scoring body should not be solely rested on these two guys. Kelechi Nwakali is not an out-and-out striker. He operates from the midfield position. Victor Osimhen is an out-and-out striker, and the other players should also definitely raise their
shared goal scoring
body. And I feel if we do that, if we start our first game against USA with a victory, then that might likely give us an incline as to what to expect as the tournament progresses.
Toby, how much of a time does Coach Emmanuel Amunike has provisional list of 25? Okay, maybe I should just quickly see if I can read through the names. That's it on your screen for the goalkeepers. Let me allow Toby read some of those names to us.
Udo Akwan, Benjamin Amos, Shisom Shihar, and
Yunusa Abdullahi.
Four goalkeepers. That means,
defenders
will be dropped. John Lazarus, Lukman Alilu, Toshiko Okoli, Ejika Iku, Samuel Okwe, Michael Idiongo, and then Idoshuku Hamamudu. I hope I'm not.
I hope
I'm getting this name rightly. Midfielders, Kelechi Nwakali, just like
Julian
said, Kingsley Michael, Taiwo Alimi, Juwe Osika, Shuko Diago, Chinedu Madueke, and then we're expecting the forward to be led by Victor Oshebe, Samuel Chukwueze, Oshinashi Ebere, Oji Okonkwo, Thompson Gavi, Funsho Bangboye, and then David Enogola.
So some of the names there, like Toby said, I want to agree with you. The only thing that is guaranteed, one goalkeeper, at least we know that. So we don't know the composition of defenders, midfielders, and striker. I looked at that; it looked a bit top heavy. A lot of forwards,
especially the forward line, because I know that most coaches would want to go with more strikers, less of the midfielders, and more of the defenders as well. We know three goalkeepers.
No, but sometimes it depends on the formation. Emmanuel Amunike want to play. I think this team really built from the middle of the park. Maybe they might have a very very compact midfield. But
Toby, let me quickly ask you as we leave this issue and lay it to rest. Finally, if there are any problems in that team, how much of a time do you think Coach Emmanuel Amunike has? Less than 2 weeks now to tournament proper. Can anything be done, really?
Yeah, the truth of the matter is there's nothing you can do at this moment. You can only, amend,
accept what you have. You can't even change anybody from that provisional list.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is he had enough time. All through the year they have been preparing. They've been through a lot of friendly games in Nigeria. They went to Korea to play, a pre-tournament, and this should give Emmanuel Amunike an insight of what his team could
In a
offer.
nutshell,
So,
he doesn't have an excuse.
and hopefully in Argentina they will get to play one or two
Club
friendly games,
sides.
one or two club sides. But we are defending champions, so expected pressure will be on us. The world want to see what will replicate, what will show up, and the performance during the CAF and the 17 tournament doesn't really speak well about them. Hopefully they really corrected a lot of errors,
Okay.
and then they might fly high. Yes, it is a cadet tournament. We want to see stars, grow into the ranks, but we are entering into a tournament. We hope to win, and
Okay.
we hope not to disappoint the Nigerians. So hopefully these guys will give their best, and they might not. I'm not saying they should win, but they should be a good ambassador. They should represent the country very
Give
well
us a good
on the world
representation.
continent.
All right, we must underline the fact that there is no country that is as successful as Nigeria's Golden Eaglets at under 17 level.
Yep.
And all the trophies we've won have been on Asian soil. And this time around,
yes,
they are playing on
South America.
soil.
So I don't know what's going to happen, but you can trust the boys to do the job. I hope they will be motivated, because if you've won everything, maybe what will count in our favor is that this is not the same set of guys that won it. So probably they should be motivated.
I think a lot of people are started drawing comparison as to which team is better. I mean, by every stretch of imagination, the former team is far better than this one in terms of personnel, in terms of even the handlers, in terms of squad depth and all of that. At some point, Success was injured. Awoni came in, scored 4 goals.
Effortlessly.
Iheanacho was there, scored, I think,
They weren't
7 goals,
struggling
6
for
assists.
stars.
They were scoring goals, beating teams with reckless
Okay.
abandon.
Yeah,
But
the same
all
Golden
of that
Eagles have
was
also
nothing
done
of this team.
that. I mean, even before the African tournament, I was expecting them to win, because they bang goals like waters. I think they've scored a couple of goals in couple of friendly games they played. So, but I think they've looked a bit shaky at the back. Hopefully,
let's
tried
end
to correct
it
that.
this way. I've seen teams go to competitions looking shaky, like Toby
Yeah.
has said, and we're
And they get to the tournament, they look very better.
we're about getting you scared, but don't be. You get to the tournament, a lot of things change. So let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Let's leave it at
Maybe
that.
after our first game against USA in Santiago, we'll
Then we'll
definitely
begin
want
to-
But it is very, very
see
important.
what the
Very
team looks
important that we
like.
avoid considering defeat.
Yeah, true. We
in
must
the
win
first
our
game
first
also.
game.
These guys don't want to
We
leave
must win
the
our
issues.
first game.
All right, let's go on a break. Let's go on a break. We told you earlier that we're going to concentrate a lot on the domestic scene. What is happening? These guys right here are ready to tell you where you need to be and what you need to do if you want to enjoy this weekend, enjoy the exciting world of sports. All right, let's allow you enjoy action from the Nigeria Professional Football League, highlights from Week 30.